this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Mom, can I have Lingo Kids? Dad, Lingo Kids, please!
When did we become the Lingo Kids house?
No idea. Last week it was dinosaurs. This week it's...
Lingo Kids!
Why Lingo Kids?
Because it's the best thing ever.
We can play games
with astronauts,
wild animals,
and superheroes.
With more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows, Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids.
So, no dinosaurs?
And dinosaurs. Lingo Kids!
Everything kids love. Download it for free.
Stuff at Sea is a 5-night, adults-only sailing trip that brings the Stuff podcast universe to life on board. This voyage is a culture-soaked escape where pink sand paradise meets curious minds. Sailing round trip from New York City to Bermuda on October 2nd to 7th, 2026, this voyage drops you straight into the iHeart Podcast Stuff universe. On top of the adults-only experience you already love, you'll get live podcast episode recordings, behind-the-scenes sessions, themed activations, and more unmissable onboard moments. Learn more at virginvoyages.com/stuff.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant and Jerry, and this is Stuff You Should Know in the long-running, never-ending law enforcement suite. Another addition to that.
Boy, it's got to be close to done, huh?
I think that every time.
In fact, I had to check. I was like, I could have sworn we had done this one.
No.
But we didn't. I guess we just did service dogs?
We did
CI
service dogs.
Or service dogs in general.
Did we do service dogs or guide dogs? I don't remember.
Can't remember either.
That was great. Great one.
Always love talking about dogs.
Yep.
In fact, we should just do one on dogs. Very interesting.
I can't believe we haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating, the history and the breeds and how that all works. And
yes.
So, yeah.
This is about specific dogs. More often than not, German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois.
Don't forget about the Beagle Brigade.
Oh, yeah, those are so cute.
The cutest little service brigade on the planet.
Love little beagles until they start howling. But other than that, they're very cute.
That's right. Do they howl more than most dogs? Beagles?
No, but when they do, they can howl.
Oh, okay.
They're like a hound. They remember the hounds.
Yeah, my two howl at the sirens that go by.
Yeah, because it's like...
But that's the only thing.
An howling machine to them.
Yeah, I love it, though. I think it's great.
Gotcha.
Because it's over before you know it, and it's... I don't know. I just like it.
You don't have a beagle, do you?
No.
But they howl.
Yeah, most dogs howl.
Huh.
It's not like a beagle trait.
I thought it was. Beagles and hounds and basset hounds, bloodhounds.
I grew up with a basset hound. It was pretty great.
At your house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Bo. He was awesome. He used to trip on his ears. He'd step on them.
Those poor dogs.
Yeah, that's back when I knew better and got like, I want this breed of a dog. Let's go buy one.
Right.
Now, you rescue the mutt from the kennel. That's how you should get a dog.
Sure.
All right, I'm off my soapbox.
So like I was saying, Malinois, German Shepherds, Labs, police dogs, and little beagles.
Mainly German Shepherds, though.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Well, apparently the Belgian ones are pretty, I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. A Malinois?
Well, that's where it all started.
In Belgium.
Yep.
Yeah, let's start with the history of police dogs, man, because while they are pretty ubiquitous here in the United States these days, you always see like a car that says like Canine Unit or whatever.
Yeah.
They like to release the dogs a lot these days on protests, which is pretty disheartening.
Sure.
That's actually fairly recent, at least in the United States. Europe has been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, the first recorded police dogs were in France. In the 14th century, they guarded dock installations.
Oh, yeah?
And then in 1888, the London Metropolitan Police Force, first used bloodhounds to work the Jack the Ripper case.
Really? Man, a lot of stuff came out of that case.
Yeah.
A lot of things like forensics that we're using today still and shouldn't be came out of that case.
And they still couldn't catch them.
No, never figured it out. Did you ever see that... what was the guy from Knight Rider's name? The Hoff. What's his full name?
Hasselhoff?
Yeah, David Hasselhoff.
He goes by the Hoff, though.
Yeah. He did it one where the Tower Bridge or the London Bridge was rebuilt in Arizona. What's that famous lake in Arizona? The resort lake?
Havasu?
Yes. They rebuilt the London Bridge at Lake Havasu, and Jack the Ripper's ghost came with it and started killing everybody.
Was that like a TV movie?
I think it was made for TV. It certainly has the production value of a made for TV movie. And Hasselhoff is the police detective with the bad attitude who's the only guy with the chops to solve this case.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks he's crazy because he's like, it's Jack the Ripper's ghost. I saw it when I was a kid, and I think it's on like Amazon Prime, so it's streaming for free. I don't remember what it's called, but it's on there. Man,
I got to seek that one out. That's crazy. And that was back in his Knight Rider heyday, I guess.
Yeah, he was clearly riding high.
Pre-Baywatch even, I guess. Yeah?
Oh, I forgot he was on Baywatch, wasn't he?
I mean, he made his name all over the place.
Sure.
On stage, screen.
Yeah, now he's a singer in Germany.
So Belgium, in Ghent, Ghent, Belgium, they first started using about 10 years later than London in 1899, and they actually had a program set up.
Yeah.
Like the first real police dog program, and it was a big success. And in October of 1907, New York Police Department chief, I guess, George Wakefield, went to Ghent in Belgium and came back with 5 dogs.
They just followed him home.
Started using them in New York City in 1908.
Yeah, and then New Jersey followed suit very quickly, and so did Detroit. The thing is all of these police canine units were disbanded within a few years because they didn't know how to train the dogs properly.
Yeah, I think the thing I saw said from 1951 to 1954 there were no police dogs in the United States. And then later in the 1950s they started coming back. And in the 1970s they became really widespread as far as many municipalities having a canine unit.
Yeah. And initially it was like, I need a police dog. You have a German Shepherd, and leave it to me in your will. That was like a police dog arrangement for a while. And finally, law enforcement agencies around the country, apparently 2001 set off a huge boom in demand for police dogs. That's one of the big reasons why they're so ubiquitous today. Although they've been in use a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
But in any small town now, you're going to find like at least one canine unit post 9/11.
Right. Bomb sniffers.
Right. So, but at some point they figured out the ones that they're doing in Europe, let's just import them from there because they know what they're doing in Belgium and Holland and other areas where they have these long-standing police training programs where you can buy a certified dog and then you actually teach the trainer how to deal with that dog rather than the trainer training the dog because the dog already comes trained and ready to go.
Well, there's still a lot more training you have to do once you get them over here. But from what I read, it's like $8,500 to buy the certified dog and then another $10,000 to train them in the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they pay for themselves.
Well, they do because they're usually paid for with drug money that has been seized.
Sometimes by drugs that have been sniffed out by police dogs. So the police dogs are generating income to buy other police dogs, among other things.
Yeah, and fat dog houses and great treats.
Right.
Like the frozen ice cream treats that dogs love so much.
Yeah.
I bet canines get those. Why do they use dogs? One good reason is because their sense of smell is about 50 times more sensitive than a human's, which you don't need any more reason than that.
Right.
Because they can smell. I think this is the Grabster wrote this one, right? Mm-hmm. He actually interviewed a canine team, the human part of that team, in New York, and he said that his dog, Breston, found a shipment of marijuana in heat-sealed Mylar bags inside plastic-lined crates sealed with foam sealant inside a closed storage garage.
With a cold.
Yeah. Half asleep. So that's a little bit, that'll tell you a little bit about the sensitivity of a dog's nose. It's pretty amazing. They don't get confused. You can bury your drugs in coffee or wrap them in perfume and the dog will still go, no, I know what's in there. Nice try.
Right.
Now let me bite your crotch.
And the reason their noses are so sensitive is they have something like 200 million olfactory receptors.
Crazy.
Where we have something like 5 million.
Yeah, we're dummies in the smell department.
Right. So, dogs are also used not just for sniffing stuff out, whether it be drugs or bombs or whatever. They're also used as patrol dogs.
Yeah.
Which basically means that they're attack dogs at the ready.
Yeah.
And apparently just the very presence of a dog can keep a physical confrontation from taking place or escalating.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it on cops. When they get that dog out, you most often see the dude go, okay, where do you want me? Because they've got that dog barking, and I don't know, it's weird that being beaten down by a human isn't enough. But that dog is scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you can't really reason with the dog. You can't be like, enough. But yeah, what am I saying?
I don't know if you can reason with a cop that's beating you down either. But.
So with the dog, actually, they fall into this spectrum of escalation of violence that's allowable among law enforcement.
Yeah.
And they actually come after the baton, but before the cop draws his gun.
Right.
So baton doesn't work. You can release the dog. The dog doesn't work. You can pull your gun. And then if that doesn't work, you can pull the trigger. That's the continuum of violence.
Is that what it's called in the book?
Seriously. Or continuum of force, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Big difference.
Yeah. Let's just call it violence. They're not lullabying people to sleep and putting them in the police car, you know what I mean? Like we said, it's usually German Shepherds. Sometimes they use Labs now, Labrador Retrievers. What is that called again? You said it once before. The Belgian
Malinois.
Malinois. And of course the Beagles, which we'll talk about here in a bit. They are all well suited to police doggery, work. And they can, get them all over the place. Like you said, sometimes they're donated. But by and large, if you want a really crack police dog, you still need to go to Europe. It's worth the money.
Yeah.
Apparently, because if there are issues later on in court about the dog, apparently the first thing defense attorneys will say is, your papers, please.
Yeah. And
like they want to see this dog's background.
As far as the Supreme Court's concerned, which we'll talk about later, as of 2013, that's all they need to say.
And the reason they get these dogs from Europe is because their standards are just way more strict, and they, like you said, basically like, let's just take this dog and train them. They're like, this dog has been bred from this lineage.
Right. I don't like that light patch on that dog's ear. Kill it.
Don't say that.
Well, they don't breed it.
Yes. Exactly.
Kill its genetic line.
Right.
As far as Richard Dawkins is concerned, they might as well be saying kill it.
Neuter it. Well, and that's a big thing is they leave these male dogs, they're usually male dogs, and leave them unneutered because that will keep that aggressive streak intact.
Right.
When it comes to the cop, it's sort of the same thing. You want the best of the best.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, yes. This is all, like, in ideals and hypotheticals, it all makes utter sense. And I think that's how it works out most of the time.
Yeah, just not any cop can go be a canine cop. You're required to be at the very top of your class, very strong, energetic personality, very outgoing.
Willing to work very long hours, it turns out.
Yeah.
I did not realize this.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But
okay.
they say 60 hours a week. And that's just working. The dog lives with you. It's your dog. 24/7, dude.
Yeah.
That's why they have such a tight bond.
You are that dog's handler for its whole career.
Yeah, and I think 99% of the time these cops keep these dogs after they're retired as well.
Oh, I would guess so.
Yeah, it'd be hard to be like, all right, go live with someone else.
Yeah. Good luck in your retirement.
All right, let's take a break here, and we'll talk a little bit about dog basic training right after this.
can I have Lingo Kids? Dad, Lingo Kids, please!
When did we become the Lingo Kids house?
No idea. Last week it was dinosaurs. This week it's...
Lingo Kids!
Why Lingo Kids?
Because it's the best thing ever. We can play games with astronauts, wild animals, and superheroes.
With more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows, Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids.
So, no dinosaurs?
And dinosaurs. Lingo Kids!
Everything kids love. Download it for free.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
So, Chuck, the first thing that all police dogs go through is obedience training. It's kind of basic and simple, but it's also probably the most important training they go through.
Sure.
Especially when they're patrol dogs.
Yeah.
Because they have to listen to their handler or else things can go really bad really fast.
Yeah, because their handler's going to tell them when enough is enough. And if the dog isn't understanding this and doesn't have that basic obedience, then you can get in big trouble.
Yes.
As a police force and as a canine unit.
Yeah.
Lawsuits, arrests. Well, probably not arrests.
Ed
Can't arrest a dog, can you?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Well, I guess you can, in a way. The dog catcher arrests dogs. Yeah, I thought that was an apt analogy.
Yeah.
So Ed points out, or Ed dispels a myth here, actually, where I guess a lot of the dogs that come over from Europe take commands in their native language, right?
Sitzen.
Which makes total sense.
Yeah.
But apparently there is a myth that the reason why is because they don't want people besides the handler accidentally or purposefully setting the dog off to attack by saying the word.
Not true.
No, apparently it's easier for the dog to retain the training it had and for the handler to just learn a few words in a foreign language.
Yeah, it makes total sense. You're not going to get a German Shepherd that's fully trained and say, all right, now forget all that because I want to say sit and not sitzen.
So sitzen is sit.
I think so.
In German.
Platz. I think Platz is lay down. My friend Clay has a German Shepherd he bought from Germany, and he gives commands in German, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You hear a lot of Platz around his dog. I grew up with German Shepherds, a couple of them.
Platz is more efficient because it's one syllable and lay down is 2.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Those Germans, they're efficient. What else? They can get into specialty training. They need to be, they need to have endurance and be super agile and be, physically fit dogs. But then they go through specialty training like, whether it's drugs or bombs. I know arson is a big one now to have them seek out accelerants. They can even track people.
Which I didn't quite get. I get how they do it, but I don't understand how they actually do it.
Well, when I've seen it on cops, it's been like they have a piece of clothing from the guy, and then there's like he's in this attic, in this house somewhere. Go find him.
So they have to have something to scent the dog.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's what I didn't get. I mean, like, if it's just some guy who ran, then the dog wouldn't really be of any use, right?
No, like just a description of the perp wouldn't help.
Right. So, this training actually, the secondary training or specialty training is actually really simple and kind of clever.
And fun.
It is. So the first thing the dog learns to do is to love a towel more than anything else on the planet.
Yeah.
It becomes its toy, a towel that's been washed to remove any kind of scent. So the towel doesn't have its own scent.
Yeah.
And the dog learns to love it by playing tug-of-war with it, right?
Oh, yeah. Dogs love the tug-of-war.
And then in very short order, the cop gets his hands on a little baggie of pot and rolls it up with the towel.
Yeah.
And they keep playing tug-of-war. And now the dog's like, hey, my favorite toy smells a lot like pot.
Right.
Okay. Now, the next step is for the cop to hide the towel filled with pot, and the dog finds it, and then they play tug-of-war.
Yeah.
And eventually, the dog will learn that anytime it smells pot, it thinks its toy is hiding, and it goes after it and starts digging in the place where that it smells pot, and hence, the dog has just sniffed out pot, which means that drug-sniffing police dogs are playing.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize until this.
It's pretty awesome to think about. When you see a dog clawing at the trunk of that guy's car, he's like, my toy's in there, my toy's in there. And then they will replace that pot with all manner of drugs to cross-train the dog so they can
They'll stuff that suitcase that Hunter Thompson steals from that police convention into a towel. Just to train it all at once.
Benzos
yeah. They can also do like explosive components too.
Sure, for bombs, and then accelerants in the case of arson. Arson sniffing dogs are a big thing now. That's all the rage.
They're so hot right now.
And there's two ways it can alert. The aggressive alert is what we were just talking about, is when they think there's that toy and they're just clawing and pawing and trying to dig it out of your suitcase or wherever. And then there's the passive alert, and that is when you don't want a dog clawing all up in your junk, and you need a little more delicate situation, which is the case with the Beagle Brigade.
Yeah, they just come and they sit next to the person. That's how they alert.
That's the cutest alert ever.
Passive alert.
Yeah, and that's the Beagle.
Maybe they even kind of cock their head toward the person a couple times.
Little nod. The Beagle Brigade works with the USDA, and they sniff out illegal produce. So you might have seen them at the airport here and there too.
Yeah, they wear like little
vests.
Yeah.
But not bulletproof vests.
No. But police
Canines
dogs, like patrol dogs, do.
Sure. In fact, they have, I think Ed mentioned a fundraiser they had to get bulletproof vests for the dogs at this one, and people just flooded them with money.
Right.
Because it's not cheap.
No, I have no idea how much a bulletproof vest is for a canine unit. Do you?
You just know the one that you have, how much that costs.
Right.
No, I don't know. My guess is a bulletproof vest is probably a couple of $grand.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out there. That's what I'd pay.
That's what you'd pay?
Sure.
Well, my friend, you would be taken for a ride because I can find a canine tactical mole vest for $199.
That's a dubious.
And apparently, Miami Heat star Ray Allen has a side business where he supplies canine protection and safety products.
And this is the segment called Josh Reads His Phone on the air.
You've done that before. Don't even play holier than thou.
Have I?
Yeah, you were looking up the name of the impossible the other day while I was yapping.
Yeah, that's like the only time I've ever done that. So, let's talk about a day in the life of a dog, a canine dog.
Okay.
I didn't know this. Before they even go on patrol from 4 p.m. to midnight, they're going to be going to high schools and going down the hallways, sniffing at lockers.
Yep.
They're going to be sniffing businesses if you need a business sniffed. Like you can call them and say, hey, I'd like to pay. I guess you can pay, right? Or do you just request it?
I would guess a request. The cops are like, it's an investment and a bust.
Right. Good point. Some days you have to go to court, and then the dog has to go to court as well. And then eventually they will actually work their shift. And this is why they work such long hours, because they're busy during the day, and then they go to work at night.
Yeah.
When they need to be banging the streets.
Man, you're so tough.
What? My tough talk?
Yeah.
And when they're on the streets, what they're doing is, just like any other cop, basically. You're doing a lot of sitting around and waiting on calls to come in. Then when that call comes in, you might be sniffing out a car, or you might be chasing a perp.
Yeah. You could be doing both.
Yeah, the dog, that is.
And when you are sniffing a car, if you're a dog, the Supreme Court ruled that a dog alert is enough for probable cause for a police search. Like that in and of itself. So if the dog alerts its trainer, or handler, I should say.
Yeah.
Who's the only person on that scene who can read the dog's behavior necessarily, then that officer has a right to search that car.
Yeah, and that's a very delicate matter because there's a lot of claims of false signals that a cop will make the dog react just so they can. Basically, the canine dog is a prop used to get search whenever they want.
Yes. And some
people say that.
Those are, well, yeah, and I guess we'll talk about it later, the false positives.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll be quiet for now.
Well, we can talk about it right now.
Well, false positives are the thing that you are most concerned with police dogs because they usually do not miss drugs, the presence of drugs when they are present.
Right.
A police dog, when it's brought around to like a car or something like that, it knows the score. It knows that it's supposed to be looking for its toy, so it's going to start sniffing around.
Yeah.
The thing is it's thinking about sniffing its toy or sniffing for its toy, and that's its whole thing. It's entirely possible that it's going to detect the presence of its toy, meaning drugs are there, when it's not there. And then it'll give it an alert, and then a full search will begin, which is not a problem when that actually results in the discovery of drugs.
Yeah.
But that apparently happens, generously speaking, only like 46% of the time.
Yeah.
They find drugs when a police dog says there's drugs there, which means like 54% of the time the police dog is saying that there's drugs there when there aren't, which means a lot of innocent people get their property searched.
Yeah, and there's a Chapel Hill, North Carolina law professor named Richard Myers who in 2006 wrote an article in the George Mason Law Review where he basically said the controlled testing to get numbers on these dogs is terrible. And he did some math based on something called the Bayesian probability formula where he said he thinks it could be as high as 85% failure rate or false positive rate.
Yeah. Supposedly there was, in Florida, there were some dogs that were being used on a stretch of highway where they put up roadblocks a lot that were like 96% or wrong 96% of the time in the 80s or something like that.
Yeah, and I think they said one of the big issues is when they're doing that, like random, not
Right.
like, hey, I pulled someone over, but hey, I'm at the border and there's 300 cars in this line, sniff them all.
Right, because the idea is that most of those cars are going to be free of drugs.
Right.
But the dog's like looking for drugs. Its whole thing is it's looking for its toy.
Yeah.
The context is different for the dog than the average person who's just trying to get through the border.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's a very slippery slope.
It is, and then it gets even more slippery when juries convict based on evidence from dogs. So, for example, there was a guy named, I think his name was Paul Yell, who was convicted of intentionally burning down his own house, killing one of his kids inside, because a police dog detected accelerants.
Uh-huh.
Well, a lab went behind the dog, where the dog said there's an accelerant here, and tested the area, and in 0 of those 6 did it find the presence of accelerants. The jury still convicted him because the dog said that the guy had used accelerants, even though the lab couldn't verify those results.
Right.
And there was another guy a state trooper in Florida in the 80s named John Preston who had a dog named Harass 2. And it turned out this guy helped put away like more than 100 people. And he was basically like a framer for hire. You could bring him along and basically let him know what you were looking for. And he would say that his dog had found whatever evidence you needed. And at least 2 people were exonerated of murder, who were convicted in part by evidence detected by this dog Harass 2, who was handled by Preston. And there's 2 really good documentaries. One is, A Killing in Canova Beach. Remember when Paula Zahn was on our podcast?
Oh, yeah.
For the Innocence Project? It's a documentary about that. And then there's another one called An Innocent Man. It's about a guy named Michael Morton. Both of them feature this guy, John Preston, who's this notorious, infamous dog handler. Even among dog handlers, he's despised because he gave the idea of canine units just a really bad name.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, well, if this guy's doing it, how many other people are doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you can't use canines anymore.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll take one more break and come back and talk some about, what are we going to talk about? Let's talk about dogs.
Mom, can I have Lingo Kids? Dad, Lingo Kids, please!
When did we become the Lingo Kids house?
No idea. Last week it was dinosaurs. This week it's...
Lingo Kids!
Why Lingo Kids?
Because it's the best thing ever. We can play games with astronauts, wild animals, and superheroes.
With more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows, Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids.
So, no dinosaurs?
And dinosaurs. Lingo Kids!
Everything kids love. Download it for free.
Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
All right. So here's a little stat for you. On a drug sweep, a canine, they're very efficient. Mm-hmm. A canine unit, the dog can cover 10 times as much, 10 times quicker to search an area than a human cop could.
Yeah.
And be way more apt to find the drugs than a cop might.
Which, again, it makes sense because if you can't disguise a shipment of drugs very well from a dog's nose, then you're in trouble, first of all. But also, most people are trying to disguise it from humans.
Right.
Which means you're trying to make it so it doesn't look like drugs.
Right.
But even if you go to the trouble of disguising the scent, it's still probably not going to work.
Yeah.
For a well-trained dog.
Police dogs are considered, they're kind of treated like regular cops as far as protections and the law goes.
Yeah.
Like if you shoot and kill a police dog, they treat it as if you have shot and killed a police officer.
Yeah, a guy in Pittsburgh recently got 3.5 to 7 years for stabbing a police dog to death.
Wow. So I guess it's not just like it, because if you killed a cop, you'd probably go to the chair.
Right.
You wouldn't get 3 to 7 years.
Right. In Tennessee, they recently passed a law called Aaron's Law in honor of a police dog that's mentioned in here that went down during a bank robbery. He was killed. The bank, he kept going after this bank robber that was shooting at him, and apparently is credited for distracting the robber enough for the human cops to get to safety. And eventually the SWAT team killed the bank robber, but the dog was killed in the process. But that was in 1998, and it wasn't until this year, 2015, that Tennessee passed a law called Aaron's Law that makes it a felony to kill a police dog and intentionally kill a police dog.
Wow. I'm surprised it's just not a felony everywhere.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising.
And then in terms of being treated like regular cops, as far as the use of force, the justification is the same with the dog. And they said, and it says in this article, that in court, typically use of force is justified if the suspect is armed, if they have not yet been searched by officers, or if they are fleeing a serious crime scene.
Right.
That's when you can release the hounds.
Yeah. And so, like we said, usually just the certificates of training are enough
for
a court to be like, okay, it's fine that dog probably didn't overstep its bounds, despite what the guy who's now suing the police department because he got bit by this police dog is saying.
Yeah.
Because he's a trained dog, a trained European police dog. And the track record doesn't have to come into account. It's just, that's enough for most courts to say, nope, excessive force was not used.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more stuff about this in the future. False triggers and court rulings.
Forensic investigation as a whole is under a microscope like never before, and very appropriately.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's still just based on hunches that's being passed off as science in courtrooms, and people are being convicted on. Even DNA can be very easily misused when it's not done properly. So I think it should be.
Agreed.
So, Chuck, there is a very famous police dog that you may have heard of.
Yeah.
Rin Tin Tin.
That's right.
Was a German dog who fought for the Kaiser in World War I, but then the guys who were the unit he was a member of abandoned him. So an American said, "Hey, Pooch, come over here," and Rin Tin Tin followed him and ended up becoming a movie star in the United States.
How about that?
Did you know that?
I did not know that. I mean, I knew about Rin Tin Tin, but I had no idea that he was a service dog.
Yeah,
pretty neat.
So there are actually. There's a group called the Connecticut Police Work Dog Association, and they are involved in honoring and tracking police dogs who've died in the line of duty. And a surprising and very disturbing number of police dogs die in the line of duty because they're left in hot cars and forgotten about.
What?
Yeah. Since 1940, 2,000 police dogs, have died in the line of duty.
Wow.
And then since 2007, 29 have died from being left in sweltering cars.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And the reason why is because there are special compartments for them to ride in.
Yeah, you can't put them in there with a perp.
Yeah, that aren't necessarily air conditioned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They need to outfit those
29
Lincoln Navigators
dead since then.
Yeah, that should not happen.
Since 2007.
That shouldn't happen once.
Yeah.
Because it's easily preventable.
It sure is. You got anything else?
I got nothing else.
Man, this one was chock full of stats and random, lots of stuff. I was surprised when I first saw police dogs. I was like, oh, okay. And it was a very much more complex and interesting issue than I initially assumed it would be.
Agreed.
If you see a police dog, do not go up and pet it. It's working.
Especially if you have drugs on your person.
That's right. If you want to know more about police dogs, you can type those words into the search bar at howstuffworks.com. And since I said search bar, it's time for listener mail.
I'm going to call this Meat Pigeon. Hey guys, I've been hooked on your podcast since the first episode I listened to.
I've been hooked on meat pigeons even longer.
Never thought I'd have anything worth writing in about, but when I saw Tuesday's episode about pigeons, it seemed too coincidental not to. This past weekend, I received a random text from my boss asking if I wanted a pigeon. It's not as odd as you would think because I work in a pet store, and I'm known for being an animal loving vegan with an affinity for birds. As it turns out, in Sumter, South Carolina, where my boss lives, is a pigeon processing plant where they raise utility pigeons for meat and research. My boss very easily caught a lucky escapee as he bathed in the sprinkler, unaware that he was being stalked by a resident cat. So after a few days of rooming with William, the dove I took home, when it was abandoned at my work, the pigeon now has a coop to call his own, replacing his temporary name of Meat Pigeon is a proper name, Ramses. I guess William was her boss.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
The introduction of the name Ramses makes me think you're probably right. Unless her boss is named Ramses.
No. The pigeon
is the name he gave himself when he became manager.
It's a tribute to Ramses III in pigeon history, but has consequently led to my husband and I frequently singing Nacho Libre quotes to poor Ramses.
I don't remember Ramses and Nacho Libre, do you?
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Cute.
The next step is to seek out some pigeon companionship for Ramses. Hey now. Thank you so much for the greatest podcast ever. I'm hoping there will be a Southeast tour and you will pass through Columbia, South Carolina.
Maybe.
Yeah, you might just have to drive to Atlanta.
It's not. Do it.
And that is from Bree Bagnall in Colombia, and she sent in pictures of Ramses in a coop, and he is one cute pigeon.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, he is cute. There are some cute pigeons out there, I learned. As long as they're not carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
They're usually fairly cute.
Waddle.
If you want to get in touch with us and tell us your amazing story about whatever, you can tweet to us at SYSK Podcast. You can join us on Facebook.com/StuffYouShouldKnow. You can send us an email to StuffPodcast@HowStuffWorks.com. And as always, join us at our home on the web, StuffYouShouldKnow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit HowStuffWorks.com.
Mom, can I have Lingo Kids? Dad, Lingo Kids, please!
When did we become the Lingo Kids house?
No idea. Last week it was dinosaurs. This week it's...
Lingo Kids!
Why Lingo Kids?
Because it's the best thing ever. We can play games with astronauts, wild animals, and superheroes.
With more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows, Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids.
So, no dinosaurs?
And dinosaurs. Lingo Kids!
Everything kids love. Download it for free.
Introducing the all-new Mazda CX-5, featuring more connection.
Hey Google, where's the nearest Pilates class?
Safety that has your back. More discovery on the scenic routes. More passion in the details. And more control in changing weather. The all-new Mazda CX-5. More to move every side of you. See it in 5 films at MazdaUSA.com/5sides.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC. Sequences shortened and simulated.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.